with my main number one fucking Cuban, the man of the hour, Rudy Sarzo.
¿Qué pasa, mi hermano? ¿Qué pasa?
We were talking about. Let me tell you something. I met a guy the other day. He was Jewish, nicest Jewish guy you could ever meet.
Nicer than Lee?
Nicer than Lee.
Oh my goodness.
He's older, and the conversation was great until he said, I don't know if you know this, but my wife is African American. And I'm like, you dirty Jew bastard. Yeah, I knew it. You love that dark meat, cocksucker, just not on Hanukkah. But it was funny how, some people like certain women, I love being Cuban. I love Cuban people. I'm very proud of my heritage. One thing I did not like since day one, you ready? Was those fucking Sweet 16s.
La quinceañera.
Yeah, I went to one.
Oh, yeah.
That was it.
Here? I mean, in Cuba? Or
No, I went to Union City. One. Oof. One. That tuxedo with the 18 guys in tuxedos and chicks in dresses.
Yeah.
And that grandmother's there, and you got to dance 6 inches apart. Listen, I'm going to touch some titties and grab some pussies. You understand?
Yeah.
And grab some asses. And then grandma's watching you with a microscope and fucking binoculars. I hated that shit. If I look back at my childhood, there's the pussy things I did. There's 2 things I did that are the pussiest that I can't even get mad at people for because I have to live with this. I went on 2 dates with a girl that I had to take a Cuban grandmother. And the grandmother sat in between us. Let me tell you something. Till this day, I remember that. And if I knew what I knew now, I would have got up and smacked the grandmother and pulled the granddaughter out of there like Narcos. Did you see Narcos? He used to kidnap the girlfriend, the Mexican one.
Yeah.
He used to He used to kidnap the girlfriend. That's what I would have done with her. I don't ever want to go on a date with a fucking chaperone. Like, it still irks me today. Like, she's on Facebook and I won't even be friends with her.
Yeah.
Just because she made her grandmother. And she didn't do it. Because she was all in, too. She was crazy like me. The grandmother. In those days, you had to ask the mother.
Yeah.
Then the mother said, I don't have the time, but grandma go with you.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there like, your heart-on dies, your nutsack dies, your heart dies.
Chaperones were the reason why I was a virgin until I was 19 years old.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't get rid of them.
No, it's impossible. But what's ironic is now, if you take a look at your old girlfriend, she's turned into her mom. So right now, she looks exactly like a chaperone. The same girl that you dated, when she was 18 and you were 18, going to high school together, in Miami. Because I've been in elevators, and they don't know that I speak Spanish. They'll take a look at me, guy, hippie with long hair, and they start talking about me. They're going to say, mira pelú. And then I get off the elevator and say, well, buenas noches, señoras,
And they fucking freeze. They freeze.
I have no idea,
Is that your favorite thing to do? If I knew another language, I would just go around trying to spy on people.
But I got a kick out of that, because to me, leaving Miami was my second exile. First I left Cuba, then I went to Miami, and that was, I got to get out of here. Because
Is that how you felt in Miami?
Oh, I still do. I can only take Miami. I go there to see my mom like 3 or 4 days, and then I gotta get out.
What was your total
but I'm talking
living
about
time there?
We arrived in 61. We left in 63 to New Jersey, West New York. Your hood. Then we left in 66. We went back to Miami again, and I was there for like 10 more years until disco came in.
What didn't you like about it at that time?
What I didn't like about it, well, first of all, back in when I left in the 70s, was still that mentality that you're Cuban, you're not supposed to be doing certain things.
Right. I lived
culturally.
70s was tough. The early 70s to be a Cuban.
Yeah.
First generation.
First generation.
They call them,
yeah.
Was very tough. It was, their rules were fucking.
They had rules.
Yes. A lot of rules.
That's a big problem. Don't tell me about rules. I don't want to know about fucking rules.
I had those rules, and they were even harder on me till I went home in the 5th grade. When I got out of the Catholic school, my mom came around and she goes, I don't want to bang heads with you. I'm done. So we're going to do it your way. And if it works, we'll do it your way. The minute it doesn't work, it goes back to my way. And that was communistic measures. That's communistic measures, for anybody who doesn't know. I mean, I tell stories that I got hit. Yeah, I got hit. But the number one punishment I was made to do was write lines. I will not call my mother a fuck. I'm not saying I ever did, but little things. I will not play ball in the house.
Yeah.
And I would have to sit there for hours, and the eyes had to be under the eyes perfectly, and the wills had to be perfectly.
Wow.
And I would sit there for 2-3 days, like get home from school at 3, eat lunch, and go right to the notebook. And
Wow.
sit there till dinner, and after dinner for 2 hours. And then my mom would be waiting for an apology. And in my world, there was no fucking apology. I'd rather write these fucking lines than apologize. That's how I felt at that age. But then somebody would come over, and as Cubans call it, te tiran la toalla. Okay, that means they throw in the towel for you. So let's say I'm mad at Mercy, and Rudy comes over. I leave the room. Rudy sits with Mercy and says, "Hey, what's going on with you?" "Nothing. My dad." And you go, "Listen, I grew up with your dad. I know he is. Just tell him you're sorry, and you want to keep writing." And I go, "No." And they go, "Okay, call your mother. Ma, come in here." And my mom would come in, and I'd have to look at her and say, "I'm sorry for breaking the dolls." And she'd go, "Next time you do this, this is the penalty." My daughter lost her jacket at school. I give my daughter $40 a month to do the podcast, $10 a week. I give her 40. I make her sign paperwork. I put it through the whole fucking deal. You know me. I give it to her in an envelope. I make it through the whole deal. Her mother bought her a school jacket. She wanted a hooded sweatshirt. She lost it at the school. The mother charged her $30 yesterday. She was crying for an hour. Took it out of her piggy bank. That's it. That's how I was raised. You need to know the value of a dollar. So it was. I had rules growing up. Like you couldn't. And then, let me tell you where there was more rules. In North Bergen. There were unspoken rules. Couldn't get an earring. Couldn't get a tattoo. No long hair. It was very well known in North Bergen, like the basic rules of North Bergen. They were unwritten, but they were very basic. The kid died about 6 weeks ago from North Bergen. I'm friends with his wife today, and his wife came to my show in Rascals, and she goes, when I hugged her, I go, "I'm sorry about whatever." And she goes, "My husband always loved you. He said you were a real man because your sophomore year he broke up with a girl, and you went to him before you asked her out." And I did. My sophomore year, I went to this tough motherfucker, and I go, "Hey, you guys have been broken apart for a month. There's a word on the street that her and I could click. Are you okay with this?" And I could see he turned pale. And he goes, "I still love her." And I go, "Listen, you're apart for a month." And he goes, "Well, you do what you got to do." And I put my hand out. I go, "I'm just here to tell you, I'm going to take her out that date. I don't want no problem." I put my hand down. That's what men did. That's how I was raised. That was the code in that town.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.